Okay, I will do an interpretive speaking. Okay, you get table topics. Maurice is timer. Mark is general evaluator.
Yep.
Okay, and you're also, no, that's all you are, general evaluator. So looks like we got everything covered. Awesome, good. Awesome, good. I like that.
So if I don't touch it, how?
7 o'clock. Let's start our Toastmasters meeting.
Okay.
Luke, could you give us an indication and pledge, please?
Sure. Oh, we got to stand up and take the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good, very good. Okay, old business. Old business. Is there, does anybody have anything that, old business, anything that we've talked about before that needs to be brought before the club? Julius or Mark specifically? No? Okay. The one thing that I do want to bring up again is that I would like to try to do a speechcraft in January, probably mid-January. And started in mid-January, would go through till February. And I still need some people to help me out. Remember, this is going to go towards your advanced awards, your competent leadership and advanced leadership program. I mean, everybody's working on competent leadership. So although I will organize it, I'm deferring the position as chair for someone who wants to take it, because that's would be very good for your leadership, and other roles also that are good for leadership. So especially you newbies, if you want to do that, that would be a very wonderful thing, and we'll try to get together sometime. But please text me, send me an email, whatever we can do to help. I know Tammy already said she thought it might be good, right? Did you say that? Yeah. And Mark also said he didn't know how, but he would help any way he could. So we do have a start. Go ahead.
What's a brief overview of the speech track? What was it entail?
Okay. I'm going to give, I'm going to give an educational program at the end, and I'll talk about speechcraft real quick at that time. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Is there any new business that's coming forward from the meeting? Okay, good. And we'll get right into our meeting room.
I wasn't quite clear about the email. Was it actually what we're going to meet on Monday week of Thursday?
Oh. I don't know if I got that. Actually, I might have got that email and didn't read it right. But the week of Thanksgiving.
I would have to the position on the 23rd.
Okay, and that's going to be the 26th is Thanksgiving, right?
The week of Thanksgiving.
Yes, and Thanksgiving is Thursday. Well, I have no problem meeting 3 days before I eat turkey, and I don't have any problem. I probably will be what is it that makes you all sleepy after the turkey? I'll probably be over that 3 days later. So.
I've asked that everybody try and either acknowledge or decline their roles for that meeting, and that way we'll get a good take on how many people are going to be there. So if a lot of people aren't going to show up, we'll have an abbreviated meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I'll send, or have you already sent out an email to that extent? Or would
I
you like
did.
me to send it out?
I did. I haven't seen very many responses, but yes.
Yeah, I sometimes skim over these. Sorry to say, but I sometimes skim over these things that come. Okay. Any other new business that we want to bring up before we move into the meeting? All right. Well, I'd like to introduce our Toastmaster for this evening. Our Toastmaster is a professional mariner. He's been working on the water for 35 years. He's ancient mariner, if you ever saw one. Old and gray-haired. I'd like to introduce our Toastmaster for this evening, Lawrence Crompton. Thank you, thank you. First thing I want to do is review the agenda. It looks like everybody's here that needs to be here. So, Julius is going to be our grammarian. Julius, would you please give us the word of the day?
Word of the day is starting fire. Starting fire.
Starting fire.
German, and it means satisfaction or pleasure felt that someone else missed it.
That's what the Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Okay. So that's our word of the day. You're also going to be grammarian. So then we will have Tammy will be our first speaker. She's going to speak about Z as in zebra. And we hope that afterwards that there's no opportunity to be Schadenfreude at the end of that speech. Okay? Then we are going to have Luke Green being our table topics. And Mark DeVoe is going to be the general evaluator for the evening. We are going to have Julius as being the first evaluator. Oh, I'm going to be giving a interpretive reading, but I will not be evaluated on that at this time, unless anyone has something they would enjoy saying about it. Maurice is going to be our timer, and I will give an educational overview at the end of the program. So that's going to be our meeting. That is going to be our meeting for this evening. All right. Moving on, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our first speaker, Miss Tammy. She's going to be giving the Competent Communicators their first speech, the icebreaker. Z as in zebra. Tammy saying Z as in zebra. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm especially glad to see all familiar faces here tonight. Okay. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches and loving favor rather than silver and gold. I grew up hearing this verse many times. My father actually gave me a bookmark with a pretty little purple ribbon on it saving this verse that I still have. Little did I know how much my name could affect my life at times. When your last name is Zubindon, you learn this quickly. Z as in zebra, especially on the phone, becomes a very common phrase when you're trying to spell it. I was born May 16, 1983, to a family of 3. I started off as a disappointment, particularly to my older brother, as he had hoped to have a baby brother. We lived in a humble fashion. I remember going to Sunday school in some of my earliest days as a family. I did not get to be the baby for long, as another Zubindon came into the world just 3 years later. I was given a little sister that took that place, and she's still definitely on it now. We then became a family of 4 then. I was a sweet and thoughtful child. I loved to go to school and make good grades, make my parents proud. Barbie dolls, animals, and playing with my siblings took up most of my free time. I was given my first cat at about 7 years old, and I named her Sammy. I know, very original, as she was a Siamese cat. I tried my best to add every new Barbie doll that would come out to my collection. Myself, brother, and sister would spend many hours outside playing army, hide and seek, and of course fighting with each other. Fishing with my dad and just doing the normal grown-up stuff. I definitely miss those childhood days. During that time, I learned as a Zavindan, I would always be the last person in line, unless it was a special day and the teacher felt sorry for me and she would flip it and I would be first. When I was going to the 6th grade, I was accepted to the magnet school program. I was very excited to start there as it was my first time to wear uniforms. I had this long list of special supplies to get, and I was just super excited. I was not attending there long before I was exposed to some of the meanness that people can show regardless of a good name my father had given me. My humble life did not prepare me for the jokes and cattiness that those girls that proved just the Schadenfreude, especially at that school. That year, my parents decided to get divorced, so it was a difficult time in my short life. But looking back, I see how God used those experiences to mold me to who I am now. And then I became more of just the Z girl. High school years, of course, were memorable. I played soccer for our school team. Good sportsmanship was a key for us. We loved the sport, but really lacked good coaching and leadership and resources to propel us to the next level. We kind of were a low-class school. I joined clubs, was very active, made lifelong friends, even if it was a very rowdy school. I knew I wanted to go to college eventually, but I just wasn't ready to commit immediately following high school. Of course, I wanted to experience that grateful freedom and make my own choices. I decided to go to work for a family member for just 1 year. 14 years later, I still do some PRN work for him. I worked an array of jobs, concessions, carpet cleaning, house cleaning, and even some asphalt work. I was able to travel the U.S. I went to Key West, Florida, Pendleton, Oregon, Newark, New Jersey, and I lived in Indiana for about 3 years. One day I decided I wanted to do better by my name and make some big changes. I enrolled in school online and started my sleep career. Today, I'm happy, try to live a positive life. I like to work out, spend time with my boyfriend and our 4-legged baby that has a tail, Macy. I'm actually trying to spend some time with her. I'm hoping to get her into a therapy program where you go to hospitals with the sickly and elderly people, particularly children, just to cheer them up. Hopefully her temperament will allow me to continue with that. I'm still now in sleep. I'm a sleep tech at Middle Infirmary Medical Center. Absolutely love my job. That it can be very stressful dealing with really sickly and very tired patients. I know that it's well worth all the hassles and everything that we go through on a nightly and daily basis when you know that you make a big difference in someone's quality of life and they have a better one because of it. I hope to continue my career in sleep and respiratory care. I have a lot of circumstances where I'm put on the spot by patients, patient family members, managers, and doctors. I want to be able to share my knowledge of sleep, health, and their relationship and how it plays into all of our lives. When I heard about Toastmasters, I thought it could really help me in reaching those goals. One thing I've already learned is that the new, the intermediate, and the old-timers all share in the same fears and nervousness that we have to conquer. I'm just learning to accept and acknowledge that fear, and then instead of trying to just throw it away, but own it and use that emotion to bring me forward rather than stand at the back and not say anything. Regardless of the straight name that my father gave me, it does me no good if I'm too scared to say it or too scared to stand up. So I hope all of you guys are able to use your names as well and use Toastmasters to help you guys. Whether you be a Smith ordinarily or mispronounce the name on a daily basis, that's a mine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good speech, very good speech, although I don't know if I like to be considered as the old, but we'll take it in the context it was
Old
given,
timer.
the old timer that I am. And I will take that as a backdoor compliment.
Yeah.
All right. I also am going to give a quick talk. This is actually, my voice lessons. I started doing voice lessons quite a few years ago when I was working as a teacher at C school, a lecturer. I would lecture for about 8 hours a day. And I started getting hoarse, so I'm taking now voice lessons. And one of the things that she has me do every time they have a presentation, I get to have a vocal presentation that I must memorize. So, of course, being that it is going to be Christmas, I have a Christmas presentation that I'm going to give. And because I haven't got it memorized yet, I'm going to call this an interpretive reading. It's going to be a visit from St. Nick. A visit from St. Nicholas. And this is by Clement Hart Moore. "'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care and hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in the bed, with visions of sugar plums that danced in their head. And Mama, in her kerchief, I in my cap, had rested our grain for that long winter's night. When out on the lawn we heard such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flag, tossed open the shutters, threw up the sash. The moon, shining down on a bottomless, fresh fallen snow, gave a luster like midday to the objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear, a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny wheels. The little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came. And he whistled, he shouted, he called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Dash away, dash away, dash away all. Now, as dry leaves before the wild hurricane flies, when they meet with an object, they rise to the sky. So up to the rooftops, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. Then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and flying of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished and covered with soot. A bundle of toys was flung over his back. He looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was like a snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, quite jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings and turned with the jerk, and laying a finger up beside his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh. His team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like a down on a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Ho, 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 ho." Okay, so that is our Christmas story for this evening. Very nice. I would like to, at this time, I would like to offer the lectern up to our table topics master, Mr. Luke Green.
Thank you, Toastmaster. All right, good evening, fellow Toastmaster members. It's everyone's favorite time of the evening, table topics. Well, I think it's going to, but I'm not sure about everybody else. So with that, I think I'm going to start with Mr. Lawrence. So, at the last meeting, I watched Julius try to sell you a car, and in my head, I was thinking that was really hard, and I don't think I'd be a good salesman at all. But I know that you do really enjoy table topics, and you're a veteran of Toastmasters. I want you to tell us a family of five.
Mr. Green and family, but Mr. and Mrs. Green, I know how much you really love your family. I know how much you really care that your family is well taken care of. So I'm not going to tell you one of these old vans that we have. I'm going to give you this brand new minivan. This van is just the thing you need. It's got enough room for your whole family and more. If you look in the back here, see all this room? Even with your whole family in there, you'd have enough room to put luggage when you go to visit your other relatives or on vacation. This is a wonderful deal. Not only that, it's got airbags in the front seat. It's got an airbag in the passenger seat. It's got video consoles on every seat except the driver's seat. So you'll always be able to see what's going on. Not only that, it also has a camera on the back So you can always see if one of the little ones happened to have left their bicycle right behind your van as you're getting ready to back up. Mr. and Mrs. Green, I know that you really love this little van for only $150. Mr. Toppers.
Thank you. How's it get Lawrence? Well, I don't know. I had every accessory but an engine. I listen to that, so I'm not sure. I definitely have a list, but all right, next on the list, we got Marie. Okay. And I'll take your comment.
Okay, I'll take my time.
So last time we spoke, and last time I offered the table topic, we were talking about starting your own business. And
I'm ready.
So you were talking about starting your own business. I asked you if it was easier or harder than you thought. And I hope it's going well, by the way. But tonight, I want to know if I were to start my own business, where would you tell me to begin at? What was the first step, or the first couple steps you would give advice on for us to begin to start a new business?
Mr. Topic Master, to answer your question, how should you start a business and what kind of advice would I give you of when and where and how to start the business? My advice for you is to start with a business plan, even though I don't have a fully drafted business plan myself. I have a partially drafted business plan. Also, depending on what type of business you want to partake in, or what type of business you're going to start, there are different levels of difficulty. For example, I had a computer business years ago, and it wasn't quite as difficult as starting an engineering business because you have different clientele. The computer business is open for the general public as well as businesses, but the engineering business is not geared for the general public. It's geared for different businesses like general contractors, architects, and you would have to convince them that you can provide the services that they need. And that is one of the difficulties I'm dealing with. I've contacted several architects, general contractors, government entities, but there's a lot more than just contacting them and introducing yourself. So that is the advice of how and what I will tell you. So starting to make sure you know what your niche is and the types of people you're dealing with. And you can gear your business, your marketing toward that topic.
Very good, Marie. I like that. The topic is keep going until the time and you the allotted time for that topic.
I couldn't fit that word in. No way.
Adam's not here tonight. Mark, next question for you.
Okay.
You seem like a very smart individual and keeps up with past and current events. So my question to you is, if there was a time in history in which you could have lived, what time period would it be in and why?
I think one of the most interesting times for my family is just prior to the French Revolution. Now you're gonna, I see you're shaking your head and wondering, why in the world would he say just prior to the French Revolution? Well, it's because of my last name. In French, it's not spelled VOE, it's actually spelled FOIS. And so my family ruled this section of France called Vaud, spelled FOIS. And just before the French Revolution, 5 brothers of the Vaud family bought a boat, bought a ship, and hightailed it out with their heads, first to England and then to Sleepy Hollow in the United States. And they settled there. So I think it would have been interesting to see how my family was over that part of France before the French Revolution. Because not only were they over that, they shared ownership of Andorra with a bishop from Spain. So for 1 year, my family would collect the taxes from Andorra, and then the next year, a bishop in Spain would collect the taxes from Andorra. So I think it would be very interesting to see what my family did back before the French Revolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. That was really good. Julius, Julius, I think we all go through experiences in our life that are so profound that kind of affect us and often change the way we are and change our lives, either good or bad. So my question to you is there any event in your life that was life-changing for you?
This is probably not close enough to guess. The moment that changed my life was on the ninth grade going after the basketball team. I never certainly organized sports before, but I happened to run across a book titled The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. The significance of that book is that when I read that book, it gave me some real insights into what it takes to be a success in life. So I applied some of those strategies and techniques. Never quit, always give it your best, always have faith in powers beyond yourself. So when you feel weak and have doubt, you can always lean on something that has more power, more strength, whether visible or invisible. And that's something that I've been able to take with me all my life. From that point on, I've always been into personal development. From that book, I've read countless books, hundreds of books. I would even say thousands of books. So I think from that point, that has shaped my life to always look to improve, always believe in myself, always look for encouragement from other places, and never experience sighting height. Because you don't want to take pleasure in other people's misfortune. I didn't want to experience sighting height for myself. I didn't want to experience misfortune. So I say that was a life-changing event, that book. It's been with me, and continue to these guys die, that other people have taken the space in my life, and they have their past, other people take their place. And I want to be like that person for other people, and inspiration for other people. So, Mr. Toastmasters, that's something that influenced me.
Another great answer. Awesome, right? So next, I have Joe. Okay. So I kind of like to know, since I just met you the other last meeting, I kind of like to know a little bit about you. So I kind of have two questions, and are you going to be pick either one, or if you can, answer both. A lot of time. So my first one is, I'm curious who inspired you, or who's a role model to you, and why. And the second question is, what brought you to Toastmasters?
First of all, I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity to speak. I'll answer the second question first. What brought me to Toastmasters actually is to build confidence and actually improve my speaking. I've always, loved talk, but actually, I guess bringing my focus and bringing my communication of what I want to say in front of people, sometimes I may lose track of what I want to say or how I want to get it across. So it actually will help me to, get my focus and get my communication to the point where I want it to be, because I actually want to move into insurance sales, and I think that you is actually doing that right now. So he is someone that I actually do look up to, because he's doing what I want to do. So that answers both of the questions, I believe. So I appreciate how I do it.
Take a roll right in and out. All right, now Tammy, I know you already spoke, but we're all here to practice. So I got a topic for you. I think it's pretty easy to speak on, but since you just gave your first icebreaker tonight, I know when I was doing mine, I was pretty nervous, and I practiced rigorously. So my question is, I want to know how you felt before your speech tonight, and how did you prepare for it?
Good question. Definitely all on my mind. How did I feel before the speech, and what did I do to prepare for my icebreaker? My emotions were on a roller coaster, literally, especially when I pulled into the parking lot out here, and I still have a little bit of a knot in my stomach, and my hands are still a little sweaty, and my cheeks are probably still a little rosy. So I'm very nervous, extremely self-reflecting and worried, and hope you guys let me come back next week. I went over the highlights of what I wanted to say, and then I wrote my whole speech out, basically sentence for sentence, and tried not to read every sentence. I hope I did an okay job with that. And then my mentor, Luke, actually advised me to practice in the mirror, and I did that today. I was very nervous doing that. And then my dog, Macy, that I mentioned in Icebreaker, kept coming in my lap and wanting to play. And at first it was really frustrating me, because I was like, Macy, I'm trying to work here. But I was like, this is actually good, because it helped me. I just tried to ignore her and then just try to continue with my speech, because I know things fall off the table, especially here, doors slam, people come in and out. If you're ever in front of people, people are going to get in and out. I was like, you know what, this is actually good for me. So I just tried to go over it, and with those feelings that I was feeling before, tried to just displace them momentarily. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all I have for the evening. Everyone had great answers. Seems like we filled up a lot of time, and that's what I like to talk to people that use the entire time to get that practice and repetition.
Yeah, very good. I think that this particular tabletop was quite interesting because we learned quite a few different things. One thing that was brought up in the last meeting that brings it is because there was no cross communication, the van didn't get sold. Because I didn't know that you wanted an engine. But we also learned some wonderful history and some other exciting things and how to overcome the little butterflies. Yeah. So, all kinds of good stuff. Our next part is the educational, one of the more valuable educational parts. We're going to do our evaluations for this evening. And I would like to introduce our general evaluator, Mark DeVoe.
Thank you, Mark. Well, this has been a very good meeting, and part of my job as general evaluator is just giving a general overview of how we did it in the meeting. We started on time. I thought Lawrence did a very good job as Toastmaster. I wanted to point out some things I really liked about it. First off, before the meeting got started, as Toastmasters, it was his responsibility to present the agenda. So there were some people missing, and so we made adjustments. And then what I really like is once we got this meeting started, he went over the agenda. So everybody knew what their role was in this meeting. That's something we all need to keep in mind when we're Toastmasters at one of these meetings. I love the fact that Tammy used our word of the I know you were your first speech for most people, myself included, makes you very nervous. And so I thought it was great that you worked in the word of the day in your icebreaker. The one thing that Lawrence said that I felt a little uncomfortable with is he said he was going to give the lectern over to Luke. So we turn control of the lectern or control of the meeting over to him, but we don't actually give him the lectern.
You can take it home tonight. You didn't know that?
Carpet
Just give it back.
may be a little upset if we take their lectern away. Luke, I thought you did a real good job of protecting the lectern. You made sure that there was always somebody up there during table topics. So I have help in evaluating. So the first person that's going to help me out is the evaluator of Tammy's speech, Joyous Armstrong. Joyous.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, other guests, and most importantly, Lieutenant. My job is to evaluate the speech. This is your icebreaker. Things that will actually you what strong points does the speaker already have? I think you have a lot of energy, you have a sense of humor, the public. How did the audience get to know, how well did the audience get to know the speaker? I think very well. I have a religious background. I have a family of 4. You have a busy career, you do carpet cleaning, you do some asphalt work, you do some traveling. You like to work out, you sleep check, you love your job, you have a 4-legged baby, right, okay? Did the speech reflect attitude preparation? I said yes. You can work. Going back to your past, bringing it up to your present. Did the speaker talk clearly and audibly? Yes, it was very clear, distinct voice. Did the speech have a definite opening, body, and conclusion? Yes, you begin with a proverb. You ended with a big part of your name. Please comment on the speaker with some notes. You rely on your notes, but as you become more comfortable as a speaker, you know that just speaking and saying what you really feel will take away the need without notes. Speak up what you want to say. Well, what could the speaker have done differently that would have improved the speech? I say more eye contact. You get more eye contact. You processing something in notes, reading the notes. You are reading it, so you get quote to the audience, you more eye contact. Do not say thank you. You said thank you for being speaking to the big topic. The audience wants to thank you for your speech. And you can relax. That was going to come in time. Did you, what did you like about the presentation? I like the part in the biblical quote. I like the Bible. I like Proverbs. You like to relate to your family name. I think it's a good name. I won't mess it up by trying to say it, but I'll say DD. But I enjoy it. I look forward to hearing from you in the future. It's that way.
All right, Julius, if you'll remain up there and give your grammarian report.
Okay, thanks. The grammarian report. We'll start with Paul. Then had one R. Lawrence had one R. Joe had one no. And I didn't check anything else, anybody else. The word of the day was used by Lawrence, Tammy, and I used it once myself. That's what the marriage report.
Okay. Our next person is Maurice, who will give us a report on the timing of tonight's meeting.
All right, the timers report. Tammy's speech, 6 minutes and 1 second. Lawrence's speech, 6 minutes and 16 seconds. Table topics, Lawrence, 1 minute 49 seconds. Myself, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Mark, 1 minute 53 seconds. Julius, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Joe, 1 minute and 11 seconds. Tammy, 1 minute and 39 seconds. The first evaluation was 2 minutes and 39 seconds. So pretty much everybody was within their time. I went over the most. Well, you count the first about the evaluation. That was the longest time, but that's an evaluation. That's not a speech.
All right, thank you, Maurice. Well, we're ahead of schedule tonight, and so I'd like to try something a little different tonight. Something that another club I was a member of used to do at every meeting, and that's to review our communication, because communication is two-way, and God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, and if you do the ratio, we should be listening twice as much as we're talking. So I want to do a pop quiz tonight and see how well people were listening. So I'm going to ask a question, and I just want whoever can think of the answer first to just yell it out, and we'll see how well we were listening. So Tammy moved around a lot. Can you list a couple of the states that she lived in?
She lived in Indiana for 3 years. She visited Key West, California, and Oregon.
And Mobile, Alabama.
All right. I thought I heard New York and New Jersey there. All right. What kind of vehicle did Lawrence try and sell?
I know.
And what was the price he wanted for it?
We decided it was way too much.
Yes.
We're down in Engine.
What was the first thing that Maurice suggested you needed to start a business?
Plan.
A business plan.
A full business.
What was the area of France that my family was from?
FOIF.
Right. And what?
FOIF.
FOIX, yes. All right. And what was the territory that my family used to
You keep freezing up there, Mark.
Yeah, the Bishop of Catalan or something, wasn't it?
Andorra was the territory.
Oh, Andorra, yeah. Like the wool, right?
Yeah. And what was the name of the book that changed Joyus's life?
Same thing. Yeah, the power of positive thinking.
All right. All right. So we were listening.
Okay.
So that concludes our evaluation portion. I will turn control of the meeting back over to our Toastmaster.
Well, thank you. All right. We still have a few minutes, so that gives me an opportunity to do an educational overview. Now, this educational overview is going to talk just a little bit about speechcraft. Now, first, I'd like to read the first paragraph from the Speechcraft book. Speechcraft is a program designed to teach public speaking skills to members and non-members. During the program, participants have the opportunity to present 3 to 6 speeches, introduce other speakers, and serve as evaluators. They also participate in table topics. Club members advise and evaluate participants and provide instruction in provide instruction in speech preparation and speaking techniques. So basically what we do in Speechcraft is we have a normal meeting, but we have a little bit more educational part of it where my understanding, one good way to do it is to start the meeting off with an educational presentation by one of the members, and then you give the participants, the non-members or other participants, an opportunity to give their speeches, very similar to what we do in our normal meeting. But instead of having the business part, when we start out a meeting, then we have business, old business, new business, and then starting on the meeting. Well, instead of doing that, we would have a presentation on speaking skill. And then we would eventually start in on our speeches, and then we would have table topics, then we would have evaluations, and then we would close the meeting out maybe with a little more education or a little bit more commentary on what happened during the meeting. Did you have a question?
You're saying the non-participants. So the non-participants are like
I'm sorry, the non-members, the participants. Meant to say the participants in the meeting, non-members in the meeting that have paid to get into the program. It is a paid program. Usually what they do is they will charge a fee for the program if the people who are in the program decide to join Toastmasters, then that fee goes towards their Toastmasters fees for that year. A lot of clubs also will increase the cost by maybe $5 or something that will go towards the club and expenses of the club. But the speeches they give actually are the same speeches that you have in your Competent Communicator. So those who are in the program, by the time they get out of the program, they're already doing some of the speeches that they have to do to get their Competent Communicator certification. Normally speaking, the meetings, the program can be conducted in 4, 6, or 8 sessions, depending on what we as a club, or I should say those who have decided to participate in it, what we want to try to make it into. So it can be a very extensive 8-week program where we come in. Now, again, we can do it in a number of ways. We could set up the program where we want to have it other than our normal meeting, or if the board of directors or the chair and the members of the Speechcraft want to, we can present it to the club and see if the club is willing to give up their meeting time for the Speechcraft. And if we do that, then it would be just right here, Monday night, just like we always do, and for 6 or 8 weeks, whatever we decide to do. And then a lot of that is going to be discussed amongst those who have decided to spearhead this program. And we'll discuss it, we'll figure out what we want to do, we'll present it to the club, and if we have to amend what we want to do to fit what the needs of our club are, if we're going to work within that format. Are there any other questions about Speechcraft? Go ahead. Julius, go ahead. I'll let your hand went up higher than yours.
The purpose of Speechcraft is to increase membership.
It has a dual purpose, and one of the purposes is to increase membership, and the other purpose, of course, is to increase the ability of people to speak. So from their point of view, they're coming in to learn how to speak, learn how to give a presentation or whatever. But ideally, they will become so inspired that they will join the club. Yes. Our hope is to get more people to join our club. But even if they don't, we treat them the same way. Tammy, do you have questions?
Yeah, I have a few questions. How much does it cost for someone to do this?
Well, then we have to discuss that.
Okay.
We can do it for free, we can charge for it. It really doesn't matter. As far as Toastmasters is concerned, it does not matter either way. Now, I've been involved in a lot of charity work and volunteer organizations and so on, and my personal opinion is people tend to have the concept that something has more value if they actually pay for it. So if we do it for free, then they will, if they don't want to come, they won't come. Or if they get a little bit, well, there's a good show on TV, maybe I won't go this week. Whereas if they pay for it, they will be more inclined to put money in their mind. They're saying, this is really valuable because I paid for it. So they will be more likely to attend. And I've heard of Speechcraft as high as $75 per person, which may be too much for our market, or it may not. Because, you go to any of the programs like Dale Carnegie or any of these programs, and you're spending thousands of dollars for the same type of program, and people are filling those places up every time they have a meeting. So we would have to discuss that. Those who are spearheading would have to discuss that. Did you have another question? Yeah. I'll get to you in a minute, Mark. I see your hand.
Okay.
Do you need a certain amount of people to join in it for it to work or to get the credit that you're trying to do? And then also, when they sign up, do they just come one time, or do they need to come with a whole course?
Okay, that's a couple of questions. First of all, to make it worth our while, it would be good to have a number of people, and I'm not sure what we would want to do. Part of the meetings that we will have as those of us who are spearheading this, part of it is going to decide at what point are we going to say maybe it's not worth it. So I don't know. I would think that if we had 3 or 4 people, that would be enough to make it worthwhile. Again, we bought the book for it like 2 years ago. They're still sitting on the shelf in my house, so we're not going to have to go out and buy that. But I think anything, I believe over 10 people would be too many, especially for this club. I think 10 people would be way too many. So I think that ideally 3 to 7 people would be more than enough to make it well worth our while to bring. And what was the other part?
Do they just come one time?
No, they have to come for the entire, it is a 7-week program, or 8-week, 6 to 8 week program. I'm thinking 6 to 8 weeks. We could cut it down to 4 if we felt that was necessary. Again, we have to discuss this more, but they are going to be required to, or not required, but we're going to promote that they should come to every meeting for the whole 4 to 8 weeks. Anything else? Mark?
Yes, Lawrence, I agree with you that we don't want to do it for free because then they'll think it's worth what they paid for it. And I really love the idea of charging maybe $50, and then if they decide to join, apply the whole $50 toward the club dues, and their initiation fee. So essentially, they'll have to pay for free if they join a member.
Right. Okay. And again, that's going to be stuff that we would discuss in our planning meetings, where we want, how we want to officiate all of that information. But I like that idea. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay. Again, if those of you who are interested, we do have coordinators guides that you can look into and see what we are hoping to do. And it does give an outline, and we're a little bit over time, but it does give an outline of what we would do if it was a 4-week program or a 3-week program. I mean, a 4-week, 6-week, or 8-week program. So it does tell you what the sequence of events would be for each of those particular programs. So if somebody, I know Tammy, you're planning on being involved. If you want to take that and read it, bring it back next week, and that would be fine with me also. Or next time you call me, if you can't come next week.
You got a second one I can put through?
I don't have one with me. I should have brought 2, but yes.
I've got a question. If anyone volunteers in organizing and running the Speechcraft, will it go for any category on the project 6 or 10?
Special event, yes.
Okay.
Membership club campaign, yes. And 10. Membership campaign, PR campaign, speech time, that special event, yes.
Okay.
Yes, both of those. Any of those would be, and possibly the high performance leadership guidance thing too, because I'm trying to do this as a high performance leadership program for me. Yeah.
You're going to have like a Toastmaster and you're going to have all this and that, or there's people
It's
just
going to be
come in,
slightly
it's
different
gonna
structure.
be a little bit more informal and say, hey, tonight we're just going to start off with this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this.
It's going, from our perspective, we're going to run it as much according to the rules of order as possible. which is the same scenario we used in this meeting, but from their point of view, it's going to be more informal. It's not as formal as a regular meeting. We may or may not do invitation types or anything like that. Again, these are things we have to discuss in our planning meeting, how we really want to format it. But it gives some good advice in the book on how to present the meeting. And when anyone who wants to get involved, when we get together, the first time we get together, we will decide roles, who wants to take what role. And when we actually have the meeting, we would even if you're not on the planning committee, I would very much appreciate if everyone would also, every club member would also join us in those meetings. So hopefully we will have it during our regular meeting. That way we will be able to, everybody will be able to help with the program. All right. Any other questions on that? Okay, I'm sorry we went over a little bit because of the questions and answer period. But is there anything else anyone wants to bring forward for the good of the meeting?
Yes.
Going down?
Our next meeting, Kedrick is Toastmaster, Yashika and Luke are giving speeches.
Woohoo! Woohoo! You ready? Sure. Okay, anything else? Going once? Going twice? Oh! Okay. Yes.